I'm not here to read you a press release. I'm here to break down what iOS 26.4 actually changes for families, why it matters, and where it fits into Apple's long game with how we pay for stuff. Let me walk you through it as if we're dissecting a tech drama, with the hot takes and practical angle you'd expect from a creator who wants you to feel informed and entertained. What changes, really? The big one, purchase sharing and family sharing now lets adult members use their own payment method for purchases, instead of always charging the family organizer. Translation: Grandma and Dad can buy apps, subscriptions, or in-app purchases with their own cards when they're part of the same family group. The mechanism is still governed by the organizer's setup, but individual members can opt in and pay themselves. If the organizer disables purchase sharing, or if the member chooses to use their own method, the billing route shifts accordingly. The wording around how this works was updated in Apple's support doc, reinforcing the shift in who pays and under what conditions. In short, the system is more flexible now, with adult members having more financial agency. Why this matters, in my view, the core pain point was always balance of power and money in a family account. Before 26.4, every purchase by anyone in the group defaulted to the organizer's card. That's fine if the organizer is always the one paying, but it created friction, resentment, and budgeting headaches for households with multiple adults. By allowing individual payment methods, Apple is tacitly acknowledging a modern reality. Households are more financially autonomous, even under one shared digital roof. This aligns with trends in personal finance autonomy and real-time, card-by-card accountability. From a broader perspective, this move reduces friction for families who want to enforce allowances or control. It's a step toward granular consent. You can share content without sharing the wallet entirely. That's a design philosophy shift that echoes how services separate content access from payment stewardship. What people might misunderstand: it doesn't mean every purchase bypasses the organizer automatically. You still need to enable the feature and have adults opt in. It's not a wholesale handover of responsibility. It's a capability that can be toggled per member. It's not a universal everybody pays for themselves default for all purchases in every scenario. Subscriptions tied to the organizer's account or certain family plans may still be influenced by how purchase sharing is configured. This is not a guaranteed saving trick. If your family's typical use case is a single payer, you might not notice a dramatic difference in cost tracking. The real win is flexibility and clarity. Why this actually connects to bigger trends. It mirrors how consumer tech is leaning toward modular ownership rather than monolithic control. Users want choice without losing access. The ability to separate access from payment is a microcosm of that shift. It's also a privacy by default improvement in digital ecosystems. Members aren't forced into a shared financial identity. They can operate with their own payment methods while still leveraging shared content. In terms of platform strategy, Apple is slowly building a more resilient, self-service ecosystem. If more families adopt this, Apple benefits from clearer transaction data, potentially smoother reconciliation for households, and less support friction tied to payment disputes. What this implies for you right now. If you're in a family sharing setup and you're an adult, check your settings. Look for purchase sharing where you opt in to use your own payment method for purchases. Decide if you want to keep the organizer paying or switch to individual billing for certain purchases. For organizers, consider whether you want to maintain centralized control or grant more autonomy to family members. This can influence budgeting, app access, and how you reimburse purchases later. For app developers and service providers, expect more diversified billing data from family sharing groups. This could influence how you design trials, subscriptions, and price tiers within Apple's ecosystem. Closing thought. What this really signals is a shift from a single wallet mindset to a wallet per adult approach within shared digital spaces. It's a small feature, but it carries a lot of implications about control, transparency, and how families navigate digital life in 2026. If you take a step back and think about it, this is less about who pays and more about who has the agency to decide. Given how many households juggle subscriptions and family plans, that agency could matter a lot in your monthly budget and stress levels. If you'd like, I can tailor this into a tight YouTube script with a vocal pacing plan, a sharp hook, and timestamp sections for editing. Would you prefer a punchier 6 to 8 minute version or a deeper 12 to 14 minute analysis with more personal anecdotes?